Becky, basically, do whatever you want. Now, if someone says that to me, I'm gonna take all the time in the world. Nah, I don't pay my money to be dealing with this. I'm sorry, I don't play these games. Now, I've got a portion really of what the letter consisted of that we ended up coming up with. Can't remember it word for word. I've only wrote a few bits down, so I'm going to be looking down just so I can read it to you guys, so you kind of get a gist of what the letter said and how we said it. So the letter says something along the lines of, "Hey guys, me, Sarah and Emma have been talking and we think it would be a good idea if we could all have a flat meeting. In my opinion, like I said previously, it was too nice, especially for Becky, because I could just tell, like I said, with her personality, she just wasn't about it. She weren't trying to have something nice said, and the fact that she knew that Sarah was a vulnerable, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the fact that she knew that she was a quiet, shy and a pushover, that's all she needed. But you know, like I said, I thought it was laid back, and I just said to him, you know what, you guys, I kind of was just like, you know, they said it like, for me, that letter basically said to the two girls, Olivia and Becky, basically, do whatever you want. This is what this letter actually meant, because it didn't say, listen, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. It kind of just said, you know, it's very chill, very mellow, very, you can do whatever you want at your own pace. Now, if someone says that to me, I'm gonna take all the time in the world. But when I'm hearing them say this, my brain's just thinking, nah, you're not about to let me be staying in a kitchen, living and having to deal with the kitchen and the lounge looking like that for the whole however many months I've got to deal with it, be staying here. Nah, I don't pay my money to be dealing with this. I'm sorry, I don't play these games. And I said it to these two. And like I said, if it's only me saying it and them two more chill, you're kind of stuck, because you also don't want to come across as being too aggressive. The letter, like I said, on the kitchen counter for Olivia and Becky to find. Now, I must have been at uni, because I remember I'd been at uni, I come back and I connect to the Wi-Fi. So as soon as I connect to the Wi-Fi, you know how it is, your phone goes bing, 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 bing. So my phone goes bing, and there's quite a few messages from the group chat, flat 26. So I'm like, oh, what's going on here? So I open it, and Sarah says that Becky confronted her about the letter that she'd found on the kitchen counter. And like I mentioned to you, Sarah is not confrontational. She's quite shy. She's quite take a step back. She's not one that's going to say how she's feeling. She'll keep it in. She'll say things to make you happy, basically. Even though she'll just basically say whatever, not say how she's feeling, but then probably complain to somebody else, which she did. But so Becky must have told Sarah some sob story about how, oh, I do make an effort, and I feel kind of like you targeted me and Olivia, like we're disgusting. And I can imagine exactly how Sarah would have said it. Sarah would have been like, oh no, no, we're not saying that at all, we're not trying to be intimidating, we just want this to be a nice clean area for all of us. So after Sarah tells us the whole story, we make a decision that we're gonna have to kind of lay some rules out. And this sounds ridiculous. Remember how I mentioned how it only seemed like me, Emma and Sarah emptied the bin? We had to make a bin rota so that whichever day it fell on that the bin got full and was, needed changing, whatever day it fell on, if that was your day, then it was your turn to take the bin out, and you have to take it downstairs. And just the fact that we had to make a bin rota, I could already tell that this was going to be long, and it was. Just the fact that we had to make a bin rota, it was ridiculous. Like, I'm thinking, I'm 20 plus and we've literally got to make a bin rota and we've got to select days. So I remember that we didn't decide. We said, oh, we need to kind of come up with some rules and whatever about how just keeping the kitchen clean and blah 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 blah. And then I think I must have come home again and Sarah sent something to the group chat about how, guys, they've made a bin rota on about the two other girls. Now, I don't know if Olivia was involved. I feel like this was all Becky, to be honest with you. Like I said, she was quite trying to be the leader. She was not, but she was trying to be. And this is why later on in the story, me and her butt heads. But we come back and we see that above the bin she's stuck a piece of paper above it, and that's the bin rota. So she's wrote Monday to Sunday, and she chose her day already, what day she's emptying the bin. And Emma and Sarah came in and picked ours. Now, I remember mine being a Tuesday. I remember that very well. I don't even know how long it was. We'll say weeks because I can't really remember. But for a while, that was a good system and it worked. And we were all sharing responsibility. Everyone was emptying it on the days that they were doing it. And that was that. The plate situation kind of improved, but it didn't. So I was still feeling uncomfortable. It got better because we'd spoke up about it, and then slowly it started to decline again, and things were going back to normal. We'd noticed that the bins not being emptied, and it'd be one of them where it'd be like, we've already spoke about this now. I don't want to have to speak about it with you again. I'm not your mom. You should just be doing it. You know what day it is, and if you're forgetting, you need to go and read the rota. You need to remember because it was you that made the bin rota. So you kind of need to be sticking to it. Don't pick a day and then don't do it. They would leave it overflowing and then take it out, leave the bag there, put another one in, and then leave the bag there. I've got a picture somewhere. If I can find it, I'll insert it, and you can see that there's literally just a bin bag full just plonked next to the bin, and there's boxes everywhere and whatever. It's just disgusting. I didn't wash the dishes and whatever, and it was just starting to get to the point where I was just getting so fed up with it, because I thought, we've already told you once, we've already had this conversation, and you clearly don't care to keep this place tidy. So at this point, I just knew I was living with some nasty people. I just couldn't be bothered. And then, it just got to a point where I just couldn't be bothered anymore. So I just stopped thinking about it, tried to get over it. I'd stop going in there as often unless I was making something to eat. I'd come back, I'd go in my room. And then I found myself complaining about it more and more to Sarah and Emma. And it probably started to annoy them because, like I said, they would turn around and say to me, oh, it's not that deep or whatever. Or it is deep, but they were getting fed up with the fact that they had to keep repeating themselves about keeping the kitchen clean and whatever. So because of that, like I say, Sarah's pushover, and I could tell that because of them two, like being similar, they were probably talking about me. Like, they never admitted it because they wouldn't admit stuff like that, but they definitely admitted that I was probably starting to annoy them. I could just tell, like, after certain things were revealed to me, I was like, yeah, they talk about me and that they're not as trustworthy as you'd think. So it'd be that them two decided that they weren't gonna kind of say how they felt. They complained to me about how the kitchen was untidy. I remember at one point it got to the point where we needed to have a conversation again and kind of say, listen, we need to be doing what we're doing. I feel like things have slipped a bit and we kind of need to be doing what we're doing. And I remember at this point we had a group meeting because we all agreed that we needed to have a flat meeting and kind of say how we're feeling and that we're not happy about stuff. And I remember I kind of said to, I basically said, listen, I'm kind of not happy about the situation. Like, I feel like it's disgusting and it's starting to really kind of pee me off. And I didn't want to sound like the intimidating and aggressive girl because, you know, I have to live with these people. But at the same time, I needed to make it clear that you leaving this in a state and not tidying up yourself is affecting my, you know, affecting me. And I should be able to live here peacefully, happy and healthy. And I wasn't doing that. So Becky made that group chat and she was like, okay, if any of us have any problems, we can all, you know, message each other in this, we can all message each other in here if you have any problems. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, there shouldn't really be any problems now because we've had a discussion, we've said how we feel, and Becky was like, yeah, but if there's any problems, then we can all discuss it in here so that, you know, we don't have to discuss this again, or if we do, we discuss it over the group chat and then we can see if we can get things sorted. So I thought, okay, I think someone had messaged the chat and I think I said something, yeah, so I remember a situation again, I said something along the lines of, yeah, this is not working out. I says, because it's honestly, the kitchen is so disgusting, blah blah blah. And again, this Becky's like, I feel like all we ever do is complain on here on this chat. And I'm just thinking, well, if you weren't so disgusting, I wouldn't have to complain on here, you know. If you did what you needed to do, if you washed your dishes, you wiped the kitchen sides, if you emptied the bin on your day, then we wouldn't have this issue, would we? And then I remember when I came back as well, that Sarah had messaged in our separate flat 26 chat that one time she heard on the corridor that Becky had invited some friends around, because it was quite common sometimes for Becky to invite people around. So yeah, Becky used to invite friends around, which meant that there'd be times where she'd be very loud, and this is what I mean about Becky being this girl that was unaware that it's 10 p.m. and okay, it's student accommodation, but some people, you know, have uni at 10 in the morning. Some of us go to sleep early, some of us are tired, some of us have a long day, some of us have actually had uni and want to go to sleep, and she's there going ha ha ha. Now bear in mind, like I say, I'm in room 2, which means that if you're the way near room 5, I shouldn't be able to hear you from up there. I can hear you. Ah ha ha, ah ha ha ha. I should not be able to hear a word you're saying, really, and I can hear you making so much noise, and it's like you're so inconsiderate, you know. And she always did that, like she just did not care. And she, yeah, like I said, I just learned that I just didn't like her. So she does that, and like I said, she's messaged. So like I said, it was common for her to have people over. So when I weren't there, I think I'd nipped home. I must have gone home for a weekend or whatever, and I come back, and then Sarah said in group chat that she'd heard that this Becky has been saying that we're disgusting, and I think they must have been in the kitchen. And they turn around and say, their friends, that I remember there was a quite chubby one and there was a quite skinny one. So I'm going to just say that because they don't need names because they're not really relevant to the story. So the skinny one said, the skinny one was like, oh my god, this kitchen's really disgusting. And I'm thinking, yeah, it is disgusting, but obviously I'm thinking this now and I'm hearing the story. But he goes, oh my god, this is disgusting. And then this Becky turns around and says, yeah, I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? She's like, my flatmates, you know, they were like, oh, I know. Basically acting like the mess that she's talking about ain't her mess. She's hilarious. So basically making out like it's us. She ain't taking ownership. Of course she's not going to admit to her friends that it's her that's nasty. Of course not. She's going to lie. So they're walking down the hall, like the hallway, where it ends up being that you pass every single room. And she must have said something like, oh, I know, it's disgusting, innit? And then the skinny one turns around and says, yeah, I know, dirty bitches. I'm like, when Sarah tells me this story, I saw red because I'm thinking, this girl's really going to pretend that all this mess in there isn't hers and then have her friends call us dirty bitches. And be okay with that. Like, after that, I didn't really respect them two anymore because I kind of just went off them. They started acting weird anyway. Like, we were good friends and stuff, but they kind of just started acting weird with me. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, we just kind of drifted apart and I just stopped talking to them. They tried saying that I started acting funny with them the second they kind of basically didn't back me up on the whole it being a mess thing in the kitchen and whatever. And I'm like, hell yeah, that is fully on what it is. Like, I didn't fall out with them, but I kind of just knew my place with them and just knew that it's basically me on my own there. So at this point, I kind of drifted myself away from them. Didn't talk to him, barely spoke to him in the group chat, barely anything, you know. There's some things I've missed out because they're a bit irrelevant. It's more, you know, but the point is about the fact that I couldn't rely on these two. They were softies. It was, you know, I weren't being left to be the only girl that was going to be saying all this and looking like the aggressive girl. So I ended up leaving it, which turned out that we stopped talking, we stopped communicating with each other. Said to him, oh guys, before I leave, I says, oh, what's everyone doing? I said, should we arrange a night where we have pizza night? I thought, because okay, they're trying to say I didn't do anything for their birthday or whatever, so I thought I'm gonna make this one last effort. I thought, I don't know why I did it, but I'm just that kind of person. This is what I mean, I'm a nice person that will just make an effort. So I said, okay, do you want to get some pizzas in, get some snacks, and we'll have a girly night, you know, and we'll just have fun and whatever. And I says, what days are you free? And then I think they answered me very bluntly, and I think Sarah was like, oh, I'm working, and then Emma was like, oh, I'm not back. So obviously, like I said, with the boyfriend. So I thought, okay, you know what, done. Didn't do anything. I took a bunch of stuff that day, went home. I didn't need to come back for ages because it was 2 weeks holiday, and then I realised actually I finished uni, so I didn't come back for a while, and then I didn't return until like I returned back and forth a couple of times, but it wouldn't be like I was going to stay. I might come back and forth to get furniture and whatever, and then to bring back home. And then it got to the day I was going to move out, and I think I went to check the cupboards and I've noticed that Sarah's actually packed up and left, and she's took all the stuff. I was like, okay. So I looked to see if oh no, I messaged Emma and says, oh, so when you moving out? I turn around and say, oh, I've already moved out, I've already took all my stuff like a few weeks ago. I was like, right, there you go, I definitely know where I stand now. So I think The only people that were there left was me and Becky. Becky, I believe, was staying until the last day. I believe Becky was staying until the last day. So it was a Thursday and our move out date was the Friday. So I think she was staying to the very last day. So it meant that I was going to be out the Friday too. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to pack my car and I'm leaving now. I decided to be crazy and leave it until like late in the evening when it was dark. So I had to drive back in the dark. It's not like I don't drive in the dark, but it's the fact that I decided to have this crazy idea because I could have gone a lot earlier. I packed my car up and I was like, you know what, I'm leaving today. Filled in my forms for move out forms and I was gone. Which meant that this Becky was the only one that was living there. So I remember thinking, good. I thought, yeah, you're the only one left here now, because Olivia had moved out. I don't even know when Olivia moved out, but she moved out. So I thought, good, you've got to tidy up now. I thought this may be the only time that you're actually ever going to tidy up this house and give a crap about this house. But you know, you're going to tidy it because, yeah, you'll tidy it properly now and you'll make sure it's clean because you want your flipping deposit back. That's the only reason you'll tidy it now. But I remember worrying and thinking, oh my God, what if she doesn't tidy it properly and we all don't get our deposits back? So I left. Then she must have, you know, like I said, stayed till the move out date. I remember when I walked in the kitchen, there was a bottle of my antibacterial spray. She had been using my antibacterial spray, my Dettol, left it outside, and she had a dishcloth. I thought, you're rude. What do you mean using my Dettol to clean it? So I remember I was using that Dettol. I'd come in to get my Dettol to use it and I saw it outside. I thought, let me check the cupboard and double check it's not mine. It was mine. I stole it straight off that side and I took it with me. Are you mad? Are you mad though? I took my Dettol and I was cleaning my room and doing what I needed to do. You know, I took all my stuff, packed my car, I left, I handed my keys, handed in my forms, whatever, everything. I took one last look at that flat and I was like, good riddance, I'm never coming back. And then I left and that was that. I never stepped foot in that flat again. I never would. And that is my Uni Accommodation Horror Story. Story time. It was not pleasant. I will never be doing anything like that again. I'm in my last year. I commute now because I'm not going through that. I'm sorry. I must say that I remember I was still being nice when I was moving out. I'd said to Emma, oh, did you hand in this form? She was like, oh no, I don't want to come back, blah blah blah. I said, oh, maybe you'll be able to sort it out, whatever. And then we never spoke again. We still had each other on social media, but we never spoke again. I never spoke to Sarah again. We never talked ever again. Never messaged, nothing. And obviously I never spoke to this Becky. Good riddance. And never spoke to her again. Never needed to. Never saw her again. I'd not even seen her that day, my moving day. I kept on avoiding her. Good riddance, because I didn't want to be seeing her. The only person that's ever been in contact with me is Olivia, and she messaged me, like, I want to say a few months ago, randomly saying, hiya, how are you doing? Which was a real shock to me. But actually, me and Olivia, I kind of missed this out, but me and Olivia got on really well towards the end because, you know, I got to get to know her as a person on her own, and we actually got on really well. The fact that we were both black as well, I think that kind of played a role in it, and you know, we kind of spoke about certain things that we could relate to, so that kind of helped. And there'd be times she'd make food and she'd kind of say, oh, do you want some, to try stuff, and they were really nice. And you know, we kind of had that little connection. I would say we were friends, but you know, while we were there, we kind of got on. We'd say hi to each other, we were respectful. And I forgot to mention as well that towards the end, I would notice that she was actually cleaning up after herself. So it was never her. I didn't think it ever was her at all. It was definitely this Becky. Because I'd come in and I'd notice she's wiping up after herself and whatever, and I'd be like, I knew it weren't you. But you know, so yeah, she did message me, asked me how I was doing, how I was getting on, and she said that I was on her mind and she was thinking of me, which was nice. I was on her mind and she was thinking of me, and she was wondering how I was getting on, whatever, and she asked me what I was doing, and we haven't spoke since, but that's kind of to be expected. She's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. But it was nice that she messaged me and thought of me to check up on me. But yeah, that is my video ended. That is about my Uni Accommodation Horror Story. Let me know if you liked it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know if you liked it. Drop comments, tell me if you can relate to this story, if you've had a similar horror uni accommodation experience. Don't forget to click subscribe so you can be always seeing when I post videos, and don't forget to click the bell so you can be notified when these videos are uploaded. And I hope you laughed, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you thought it was entertaining, because I can laugh about this now and think, oh my god, it was kind of funny, but it really wasn't. It was horrible to be living there and being in the moment, and yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.